The last time I talked about his rage was on the 14th, a couple of days ago, and just like I did then, I just did the same thing again, meaning I forgot to include the national issue in this. You'll recall that I talked about how there was his chart, but then there was the link to the American chart. And sure enough, the same thing is happening again, in the sense that what I say in the video today, the previous video to this one, in which I talk about how there's a respite, that period in between the end of July and the middle of August, Mars is transiting kind of in between the 25th degree of Virgo and about 4 or 5 degrees Libra, whereupon it enters the zone in his chart that connects to the Access Hollywood T-square and brings the rage back. Well, the thing is, those same degrees happen to be where the American chart has Venus and Jupiter in Cancer. You see this a lot. Politicians, people that have impact on the country especially, they'll have, unsurprisingly, links between their chart and the American chart. And Trump has, again, unsurprisingly, a whole bunch of these. But then what happens is, where they may be an asset to you in one sense because you connect with the American psyche in some way, and which is what enables you to get pretty far potentially in your life, political life. It can be a problem when transits are happening that bring about difficulties, such as this particular transit. This is where, if you'll recall, I pointed out that you get a lot of information just from the fact that he has his sun in Gemini right next to the USA Mars, and his whole thing has always been stoking up anger and resentment, and including violence. Think about starting an insurrection. This is perfect. You need the planet of war connection to a planet, and there you have it. Well, now, as the Mars leaves Virgo, enters Libra, that squares the American positions. Now, what this tells you is, just like it's happening now from its position in Virgo, challenging the American Mars, the American Neptune, etc., this brings about anger, in this case in his base, so that's many millions in the country, as well as the people that don't like him for other reasons, and so then it becomes a national issue as well. And this is important to realize, because we'll see a lot more of this as we go further into other transits, such as, for example, he has his Saturn-Venus conjunction in the same degrees as the American Mercury. And so then if anything hits those positions, everything coalesces, and you see his state being affected by something that is a national issue. And when we're talking about anger, then everyone is angry. And in this case, pretty obviously to his detriment.